That's a blind press there.
Hey, hang on, mate. You're the skinny fat man.
You don't have to lose your head.
Is your name Brian?
You should know better. You're older than these guys.
What about your nickname, Wong?
Oh, that was fucking cut it all.
Yo, all right, so let's get this thing started. We're joined today by the brilliant Nic Naitanui.
Thanks for having me,
Big
guys.
bad Nick.
He just revealed off air as well that it's actually his birthday today.
What a man, eh? Happy birthday, Big Rig.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, 28, getting old.
Our gift to you, you get to hang out with us.
I know. I would have been sitting at home just carbo loading, drinking Gatorade anyway, so better to be here.
No, it's an honour, man. We're stoked to have you.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming out. What did you have this morning for your birthday? Did you get treated to any surprises or what?
No, I actually forgot it was my birthday, so my phone was off because I had training pretty early. Got through most of the session and we had our meetings and stuff, so phone's always off because it's a fine if your phone goes off during a meeting. So phone was off, and then the coach actually wished me happy birthday, and I remembered it, so I switched my phone back on and it's still beeping away. So yeah, like I said,
Pretty popular guy.
Just another day, yeah. The whole 3 beeps.
It's another day in Nick's life.
No, it's good.
Yeah, so your career may as well start at not the very start, but 2008 draft day. You were in Melbourne?
Yeah, it was. I went across, so it was a funny one. I was expected to go to Melbourne. Melbourne told me they were going to pick me up in the draft, so I went across for the draft with a local boy from around this area, Sorrento boy, Daniel Rich, who played at Subiaco. We both were sharing a hotel room and went across, and I expected to go to Melbourne until I guess the day of the draft when my name wasn't called out with the first pick. So I wasn't disappointed that I didn't go first. I was more disappointed that I didn't know where on earth or where in Australia I was going to end up and be living. So I was lucky enough that West Coast picked me with the second pick.
Thank fuck.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I was happy to stay home, and I thought Richie was going to get picked up by West Coast. So it all worked in my favour.
Yeah. Do you know? Let's call him Barry, but the guy, the the list agent at Melbourne.
Sounds like a Barry.
He's got. Oh my god, he must regret that constantly.
Yeah, he's an absolute mare. Who did they pick up?
They got Jack Watts. Jack
Watts,
so he's no longer there. He's at Port Adelaide, so we versed them this weekend. So it's a weird way that it all works, but like I said, I'm pretty blessed to be able to stay home. I think I don't know if I'd still be playing footy if I was playing for the D's. It looked like a tough road for some of those boys' early days.
You'd be on Chapel Street having to pick a load, wearing Nana Judy. Thank God
I
you
would
are.
be too. I know.
I just picture Barry at home watching TV, and he's like his wife, probably like a Marge or something, and his son, and I just picture every time Naitanui takes like Mark of the Year or something, and the son just looking up at the dad and shaking his head, going,
disappointed.
"What the fuck, Dad?"
I reckon Barry's an Oz kick coach now. Dramatic fall.
You know what? Thank you, Barry. Thank you for not picking me.
Baz.
Hopefully, he's in like a group chat, and every time like Nic Naitanui, all Australian, then he's on his phone. You just hear ding, ding, ding. It's everyone going, "Fucking Barry."
You'll be blaming someone else saying, "I told him to get Nick." I'm falling on the sword here. That's so good. So you actually had no idea. I always thought that there'd be 3 clubs sort of in your ear, and your manager would be like, "Look, Eagles looking at ya. If Melbourne don't get ya, they're going to pounce." Does that happen nowadays?
Yeah,
or
normally.
Was it literally a surprise.
Especially if you're an early pick. I guess the later in the draft you go, you have no idea. It's kind of just a pick of the draw. And the early picks normally know where they're going before the draft even happens. But yeah, the way it worked out, I guess they must have changed their decision last minute. So I thought I was going there, and the morning of, literally probably 20 minutes before they yelled the names out, I sort of had that feeling I wasn't going there. So I knew West Coast were interested. I'd met with the thing was I met with probably nearly every football club. There were teams that were had the 18th pick or so and said we're probably more likely not going to get a chance to pick you if you go early enough. So there was teams like Brisbane, Freo, West Coast, Port Adelaide that the Bombers or Carlton. I thought maybe I was going to go to one of those teams, but the way it rolls draft day, once the first pick's done, the second pick comes around pretty quickly. So when I saw Woosha holding my jumper and hand it to me, I was pretty much running at him, laughing. So I was stoked to stay home.
Him.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
We did good in that draft. Picked up, was it Shuey with 18
Luke
again?
Shuey as well.
Yeah.
We're the only 2 left, so this is our 10th year at the club. It's gone so quick. So to have us 2, I guess, playing together and working well together, it's awesome to still be around.
And I mean, the Eagles built the club around you. Like you come in at that perfect time. You got the number 9. And it's like a big culture change, and you just I don't know, as an Eagles fan, it was like it couldn't have been any better the way that draft
down
worked
that
out.
era.
Yeah.
Pathway. Well, Shuey read you like yesterday's paper. Hey, you guys just bounce off each other so well.
Yeah, I guess when you work with someone pretty closely since day one, you tend to know everyone's movements and how each other works. So we're pretty in sync, and it's just kind of getting, or since I've been out for a couple of years, or for a year and a bit with injury, it's just getting involved with some of the other guys and seeing how they kind of move and how they read my tap. So Shuey does it naturally, but some of these guys I'm still work in progress.
Yeah.
But as you said, 10 years. It doesn't feel like 10 years, does it?
That-
Now you're like the
I
senior
know.
player.
Nah, yeah,
all
like
these young punks coming in.
yeah, I remember when I first came, 10 years, you're a veteran. So I still feel like I'm pretty young. But it's funny, one of the younger boys, an Esperance boy we drafted last year, he's only 18, 19 years old. They come up for Country Week where they come and play sport in WA when they're at school and stuff. And he showed me a photo when he was in year 8 or 9, and he's got a photo with me at Westcoast. So I was his idol. So he's got a photo giving the thumbs up next to me and smiling next to me. Now he's one of my teammates.
How good's that?
Same as Tom
so
Barras,
good.
who plays in our defence. You know, he's a Scarborough boy. He was in primary school. I went and visited his school
crazy.
when I was in my first couple of years. He was in year 5 or 6 at school, and now I'm playing alongside him.
Still signing his shirt.
Having a beer, signing his shirt, having a beer with him. So it's weird how it all changes now. I'm starting to feel a little bit older, even though I'm not too old.
I'd be reminding them of that, eh? I'd be sticking those photos up on their locker.
Oh, we do it all the
You
time.
love me, boys.
Yeah. Now they hate me. Yeah, they went from idol to the most hated. So
Wouldn't have thought so.
it's funny to see.
That's so good.
I remember, I think it was just before you had your injury, it was one of my footy highlights as a viewer was GWS. It was right near the end of the game. I think we're down, I don't know exactly, we're down like 5 or 6 points or something. And then you grabbed it out the ruck and got that goal.
Yeah, it was a weird set of weeks. I guess the saying going from the penthouse to the shithouse, that was me, those 2 week period. I went from obviously getting the game winner against GWS over there and made the trip home pretty exciting. Normally it's a long flight home from Sydney. But when you're on a high like that, it's awesome. And then I did my knee the following week, so I went from king of the world to the bottom of the barrel.
You know what it probably was? I'm tipping Barry the week before. His phone was just blowing up, copping it from his wife, from everyone. And then the next week he thought, "Fuck this," and he's gone and thrown a banana peel. He's thrown a banana peel on the wing at Subi. And he's like, "I'm going to end this. I'm not getting these group messages."
Probably too much carrying on, too much partying after the win, and then I probably came in underdone the week after, and that's probably why. But I look back at it now, and I've had a good stint on the sidelines. Made me appreciate footy a lot more coming back.
Just signing autographs at the hippie club at 2 a.m.
That's it, mate. That's a long year.
Remember that goal last week?
That's what it was.
It's me, Nick.
The comeback seemed flawless. You seem to have slided straight back into it like you never missed footy.
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, I had my doubts of where I would be at physically, but I've put in a lot of work over that time off, so I was always comfortable that I was ready to play and be able to play the ability that I had played beforehand, but I was never sure how I was going to pull up after games or how sore I was going to be. So, touch wood, I've been pretty good so far, and it's continuing on. So probably a testament to our strength and conditioning guys, because they're the ones that put in all the hard work and flog me. Yeah, I did a lot of whinging and complaining after time when you're running laps constantly and doing weights and things like that, but they got me right to play, so yeah, hats off to them.
Yeah, you went to America, hey? Did you do some rehab over there and conditioning?
Yeah, I did some stuff in Philadelphia for a while. It was more of a mental break, as much as we kind of, I guess, teed up as a break or as a training trip. It was pretty intense training 3 times a day, but at the same time, it was good to get away and watch some American sport and
Get amongst it.
Get amongst it.
People would have thought you were an NBA player over there, I'm
well,
sure.
yeah, so hanging out over there, and I went to the baseball, went to see some of the colleges as well. Went and saw Kobe Bryant's old primary high school as well. So things like that I probably would never have done to be in America. I think it was around the Independence Day, July 4th. I would have never been able to do that.
How good's
playing
July
footy
4th over there?
Oh, the best thing ever, fireworks. Like these guys, I was scared. I thought they were gunshots. Like there were fireworks going off left, right and centre. So, like I said, we wouldn't get a chance to go to America during the summer or Europe during the summer. But because I was injured, I was able to do that. So
yeah,
pretty stoked.
Have you been July 4th in America?
Yeah.
How good is it? It's literally like the party, like the movies, I reckon.
I haven't been personally involved, but I just see, like, from when I've been in the States, the way they celebrate any day is incredible.
Oh, a new level. Yeah, it's next level the way they do it. They're so patriotic. Yeah.
Did you celebrate it, or were you like...
Nah, I was training. I had training, so like those first few days, it was more about getting over the jet lag. But it was a good little trip. I enjoyed it. It was 3 weeks or so over there, and it was tough and intense, but it gave me some confidence in my body as well.
Yeah. Did you catch up with Ben Simmons?
Nah, he was in Vegas. They had a summer league kind of thing on at that time, so it was. But he helped us out to go and have a look around some of the facilities and whatnot. And we went and we got a contact at the Eagles, who won the NFL, they won the Super Bowl this year. So went through there and saw all their stuff and the way they train and what they do. So the guy who runs their strength and conditioning stuff is married to a Perth girl, so he looked after us. And so I think maybe it was my inspirational talk that got them over the line to win the Super Bowl.
I heard that.
Then Villanova won the college basketball there in Philly as well, so maybe it was my little entrance in there. So
Ben Simmons is blowing up.
So yeah, that's it. Yeah, so maybe I need to go to Philly every year in July. I might have to try and tick that off with the AFL.
Jeez, you're the mayor of Midland.
It's crazy how athletic the players are in the NBA, isn't it?
Oh, it's crazy. Like we've obviously got some athleticism in what we've got to do, but yeah, what they do is next level as well. They're guys that can play NFL. They could do whatever they want. They can go to the Olympics and do things and make it look easy. So they're big guys, but they move like little guys. So
who say you've got your recruitment hat on, learning from the mistakes of Barry. You got to recruit 3 players to the Eagles out of the whole of the NBA pool. Who do you think you'd pick?
I'd probably go with the Ben Simmons. He's just because purely the fact that he's played footy before. He's grown up in Melbourne and played footy, and he's a big guy that can probably be pretty skillful. Probably need a little guy in there, so I'm sticking with the Aussies again. Paddy Mills, I like Paddy, and I see him like a little Cyril Rioli type player if he came in. But some of those bigger guys, LeBron, I know he's getting a bit older, but you put him in any sport, he's gonna dominate. So
where are you going to play LeBron?
In the ruck, he can take my spot. I'll happily sit on the bench if LeBron James has come to the Westcoast Eagles.
They were saying, what was that?
You wouldn't get a ticket to the game either.
Exactly.
You're sold out. Yeah.
James and Naitanui dolls. They were saying on one of the sports science guys was saying that LeBron James, when he was 13, was arguably one of the best athletes in America at that time. He would all his attributes that lined up. He would literally go up against full-grown adults and be toe-to-toe one of the best athletes in America. That's crazy.
It's nuts, yeah. He was a man-child as well, 14, yeah. Doing weights early.
His son, he looks like he's going to...
Yeah, his kids, it's interesting seeing some of the kids come through, and, when they got parents who are superstars as well, they seem like I saw Shaq's kid the other day. He's just big. He's a beast. He's going to dominate some kids coming through, so... That's insane. It's nuts seeing some of these stars that I grew up watching. Their kids are coming through and going to take over the sports scene.
It was like Curry's dad. It was Denzel Curry, wasn't it?
Yeah. Curry as well.
That's Charlotte Hornet. That's old school Charlotte Hornets, like Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah, you see it. I guess it's like with any sport, like a Gary Ablett, like the best of the best. If they're starting and they're learning from the best as well every day at home.
They're on the road with them in the locker room.
Just like the White family.
Exactly. Van was just bodyboarding down the stairs.
Yeah, I just saw him before.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, it's exciting. What about... what would you have done if you weren't playing AFL? You were big in your basketball, hey? What were you doing?
Yeah, that's my sport. I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd probably be selling coconuts in Fiji. I don't know. I don't know what I'd be doing. No, I used to study a fair bit. I wanted to do journalism. So I did 2 years of that at uni before I got drafted, or a year before I got drafted, and the year when I got to West Coast. But now, I guess the kind of stuff we do with the media all the time, I couldn't think any worse. So,
except for this podcast.
Yeah. So, I probably would have fallen in some sort of field like that. So, luckily, footy's paid off. But we still have to, I guess, dedicate a day off every week to do something, which is AFL is pretty good with. John Warsall was pretty big on it. He was a pharmacist. He was qualified as well. So, he was heavy on everyone doing something on the day off, whether it was at uni or at TAFE or doing footy clinics or something. You weren't allowed to sit at home and play PlayStation all day. So, some guys took that and ran with it and did some stuff. Some guys are sitting at home post their footy career doing nothing. So take it as you may.
Yeah. Daniel Chick's driving Ubers too.
Is he? No, he's not.
Yeah.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
That's
it's funny seeing some of the circles that some of the boys do. Like, there's guys driving Ubers. There's guys doing some funny stuff out there. Some of the guys I play with, but Chicky's not driving Ubers.
He was.
Mate, I was driving Ubers at one stage. So I can't laugh.
Hell said you were the most recognisable guy in Perth, and they were saying that they tried to disguise you. The closest it would have been a bit like Nic Naitanui, maybe.
Oh,
but it still looked like
put a bit of clear sunnies on. I don't know. Apparently, people don't look at the drivers, but I was amazed by how many people sat in the front seat. Like, I'd never sit in the front seat of a taxi or an Uber or anything, but the amount that sat in there, they didn't want to look at me. I guess they saw this big black guy in the front and thought, I'm not making eye contact tonight. Like, who knows? Yeah.
For the people that don't know what we're talking about, you did a series of skits. Who was that for?
Yeah, it's for Channel 7, and for Uber as well. So
you pretended to be an Uber driver and you picked up all these people. How many people did you pick up?
Yeah, I picked up maybe a dozen or so people.
How many recognised you?
Yeah, probably 2 or 3, not many.
Really? And it really wasn't.
Well, they didn't. At the end, a lot of them did when I kind of took my disguise off, if you could call it a disguise.
Yeah, by disguise, for those
a beanie
that haven't seen it, we went to BP and bought a hat and glasses. All those like moustache with nose and glasses you get at the Royal Show.
Yeah, so I don't know how I fooled them, but a couple straight away knew. But I guess when you jump into an Uber, you don't expect to see someone you really know driving a... Yeah. Like if I saw Chicky, I probably wouldn't say, is that you, Chicky? Or actually, no, I probably would because it's Chicky. But...
You see him driving, missing a finger. You're
like, that's Daniel. That's him for sure. Chicky, if you listen to this, these boys are bagging you, not me, mate. Come find them.
5 stars. Well, that's crazy because I thought it was. I didn't know how staged it was or not. But
nah, so it genuinely was driving around. So it was a stint in the daytime where it was just kind of people going to business meetings and stuff. So a lot of them didn't even watch footy. So and then at night time it was got a lot of the drunks. So some of the people we couldn't show because they were too pissed. So but it was funny, some of the reactions. Some people were like over the moon, like they showed, like they were like, oh yeah, wow, can I get a photo, that kind of stuff. The best ones were like, there was one lady, this Indian lady, she just moved over to study like 2 or 3 years ago, so had never watched footy before. Dropped her off at her house. We did the big reveal, so there was always a van following us with the Channel 7 crew and whatnot. Yeah. They all jumped out, and she's kind of half-legged it into a house, thinking what's going on. We knocked on the door, and I explained like, oh, I'm Nic Nat from the Eagles, and she's just like, who? Like she had no idea who I was, so it was a bit embarrassing. Like
pepper spray.
She thought, she thought we were trying to take over and chuck her in the van. So I don't blame her. Like, but it was good fun to do, but not for me, never again.
What about at the I think it was a Scorchers game? Did a kid pose with you and he thought you were Chris Gale?
Yeah, that was right. Yeah, that was about a year or two ago, I reckon. Yeah, I was at a game and this kid was animate, just wanted a photo, and then. He got a picture with me, he got a selfie, and then I remember him walking off with his mate, and I was sitting with a couple of the other boys, and he's like, man, I just got a photo with a universe boss. And I was just like, I don't know, I was like, far out.
Maybe. He's a loose unit.
Yeah, I know, I don't know if I want to be Chris Gale right now, yeah.
He's something else.
Yeah.
I remember when he was playing at Melbourne Renegades, and all it would be be Snapchats of when Gale was playing. Just swagboarding?
All the time.
All the time, like in the hotel lobby. I was like, mate, this guy's getting paid that much money. And
if he gets injured,
he can do whatever he wants.
He does not care.
Swagboard and drink.
He does not care.
And the Scorchers were like total opposite regime, like no alcohol. Yeah. We're here to win it. That's probably why they've been so successful.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
The Melbourne teams just get around it.
Oh, I love him. I guess they embrace him until he says
it's a shame that he's gone. Like, obviously he overstood the mark a little bit with the whole sexual harassment or whatever they called it. Like what he said to, was it Mel? One of the reporters, he kind of overstepped the line. So they had to get rid of him and make an example, I guess.
I thought that was just funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's just his personality. Like, I know it can come across different, but he's actually so funny. I've met him a few times and he's
a good personality, good for the game.
Just Caribbean, just has fun.
Those boys come over and have a good time.
You need characters in the game. You can't have the same cliche in any sport. I hate the cliche answers and the typical journalists that just have we'll take 1 week at a time and... Guys can't be themselves sometimes. They're scared to be themselves.
Yeah, the Monday media presses at AFL clubs are going to be a thing of the past soon, I think, just because the guys say the same things every week. Like, the worst thing I hate is guys are scared to be themselves sometimes. Like, they could have 40 touches, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, it was a great team effort. I did the team role." Like, nah, man, you had 40 touches, you killed it. Like, just say it. Like,
exactly.
I know you're thinking it, but everyone's. I guess you just train that way from day one when you come in.
Yeah,
the media stuff's a bit like that. But
they give you that. They make sure you're well tuned, don't they? But people want to see your personality. Like, we know that you're funny and you're obviously easy to talk to and you've got good banter. So, but a lot of people wouldn't see that because they're used to seeing Nic
just straight down the line. That's it, mate. Yeah, there's always a little script before you go up and start speaking.
I want to see NBA style where you just see Nic in a velvet pink suit, Gucci glasses.
We started doing that on a Friday, our captain's run the day before a game. We started doing a dress up like an NBA type theme. So guys are wearing like Lewis Jetta had a all white suit on. Guys are wearing big gold chains and stuff. But then we lost to Sydney round 1 and it just got canned straight away. So we won every game since, but hopefully they'll bring it back.
Back it up before you can walk it.
How's your profile in Fiji? Like, obviously, in WA, we went and did some photos the other day, and we pulled up at a park, and I just heard these kids in the background. They go, "Oh my God, look, it's Nic Nat." These were kids about to do their footy training. So obviously, you recognised big time in WA. When you go home to Fiji, is it similar or less or more?
Yeah, it's probably less. I guess I've taken mates over there, and it's they're white Aussie guys, so they stand out more. So, it's the complete opposite when I'm here. I stand out because there's not normally any other black guys around. But no, the profile's, I guess, pretty big over there. But rugby's the number one sport in Fiji, so those guys kind of dominate all the focus over there. I feel the surfers as well. So for me, I can blend in my village and whatnot and do what I want. But around the touristy kind of resort areas and stuff where guys are watching Australian TV all the time, they probably hassle me a little bit. But back home in the village, like, no one cares. No one cares what you do. How much
so
you
when
earn.
you say village, I'm picturing like
straw huts.
is there internet and televisions? Is it
my village has got all that stuff now? Like, they're not too far out of the city, so they've got running power and stuff now. They never used to, but they've it's right on the coast. On the ocean.
Power.
Yeah, they've got half the village has got power, half doesn't. So
what
depends who's paying their bills. So like,
So everyone just stands in the Wi-Fi.
yeah,
zone.
that's it. No joke. Like, there's some houses like my older brother lives in Fiji, and like a few of my uncles in their area, they've got like a little dongle thing that has like projects Wi-Fi out kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like they'll have 4 or 5 people hanging around and wanting to like connect. What's the Wi-Fi password? That's the main thing. So when I go there, people just ask me, Nick, can you buy me internet? That's like the biggest thing for them.
Oh,
Like,
really? Yeah.
I want to check my Facebook or things like that. So yeah, like it's real basic. Like, and then you go out of islands or into the kind of jungle areas where I've got family as well, and it's real basic. Like, I took one of my mates from over here to a village that was in the remote part of Fiji, like in the interior, and they'd never, like, these guys had like never seen the city before. They'd never seen transport. So he got an iPod and he was showing them how to like use it and play music on it and stuff, and they were amazed. Like,
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, and there's one guy. There's a photo. They took a photo of him and put it in the village, in the main hall. So his photo is like the big picture in their lounge room. Like, he's the first like white guy to ever visit that village and stuff like that. And then he ended up getting his iPod stolen because he was showing it off that much. But the thing is, they're not going to be able to back it up or anything. There's no laptop or Mac or anything
until you return, mate.
Until I go back.
We need that data king.
And that village, how, like, on a geographical scale, is that like the size of a suburb? Like,
my village?
Yeah.
My village has got about, maybe 300 people. So, yeah, it's not massive. It's only small, but, like, you'd have 5, 6 people in the one kind of house. Like, some guys' houses are just like little tin kind of houses. So, a lot of my family got brick kind of houses now. It's still basic, though, like, nothing flash. Like, there's no 2-story mansions. Actually, my uncle's just gone back and built this monster right in the middle of the village, which it's an eyesore. It stands out, which no one really likes. Like, but everywhere else is just basic houses. Like, there's lots of crops and stuff. So it's like parts of Fiji are still pretty third world. Like, people see I guess the glamorous, like the beaches are amazing, all that kind of stuff. The resorts are awesome, but there's still a third world side to it. But like, I don't know, everyone's got their own, like, it's not like an Africa where there's no food. Like, there's an abundance of food. So Fijians
heaps
are
of fish still?
Heaps of fish. So Fijians are never looking real skinny and hungry. Like, they're always fed.
Couple of big rigs,
yeah, and you can eat wherever you want. Like, everyone's welcoming. You can eat at any house. So, like, I had a 4-hour drive when I was there last year, and I was hungry. I just stopped at a house on the way through. And
a random house.
Yeah, a random house on the way through. I just needed to stretch, and I came in and had lunch with them and stuff.
Part of the culture.
Did they recognise you, or they just took you in?
Nah, these guys didn't know. They just let me in,
That's
come
cool.
in, have a feed. So that's, you did that here. If you went and knocked on some random's door here in Australia, they'd call the police straight away.
Yeah.
So,
Like that Indian lady, hey?
yeah, it's the same kind of thing. So especially, so like, I love going back home. It's humbling as well, I guess, because you get recognised. Like, in Australia, especially playing footy, everyone kind of looks after you and does what you want sometimes. But go back there, they don't give a shit about you. It's just like,
you're actually a human.
just
you're
a
not
human.
just-
Yeah.
That's awesome to remind yourself sometimes, because you're very down to earth, but you can get detached easily. I imagine being in that position.
Oh, easily,
So,
easy. I've seen a lot of guys get caught up in footy. But it's good to have that to fall back on and remind you.
and on that island, like where you got 300 people, is that, say, 30 families, or is it?
There'd be heaps. Yeah, like,
And they're all well connected, and
yeah, everyone's pretty related at
Yeah.
some point. But there's a few outsiders that come in and live in there, but it's very far and few between.
and they'd be very proud. I'm sure that, like you say, they don't really care and that about your achievements. But I'm sure that where you're from, that sort of community
love
would be
it.
so proud. They'd be like talking about,
Yeah,
hey, Nick's
they
in
love it all the
Australia
time. Yeah, so
doing
they
this
get
thing.
they get a bit of media come there every now and then. When people come to visit Fiji, they'll kind of stop past and see where I'm from. And they had the under-18s Aboriginal side, the Flying Boomerangs. They went there last year and visited and ran some footy clinics there. So guys, some ex-AFL players have been through there. Guys like Andrew McLeod, so like Stokes, Chris Johnson, who played at Brisbane in the premierships, like some big names have been through my village and stuff, but I guess they didn't have a clue who they were. So, Andrew McLeod walked through your village.
You got data, bro?
Yeah, no lie, that's the first thing they ask you. You got
Andrew
data?
McLeod, is that iCloud?
Yeah, that's a nice jersey. Like they love footy jerseys or rugby jerseys, things like that. So they were like, man, you got any? So like,
And
no one's an exception.
You to this day, you still sleep on the floor, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, how'd you know that?
You told us
Yeah.
that.
Oh, did I?
ago.
Yeah.
When we're in your bed.
Yeah, I sleep on the floor. I don't know. Like I guess in Fiji, everyone just lays on the ground. Like it's just like so when people complain,
Pillow or just flat?
every now and then I've got this on my head. So like, these dreads act as a pillow. So I like the floor. I don't know why. Like
So
if I could get rid of my bed in my room and just put it elsewhere, I would. But when someone comes to your house, like if you get visitors come and want to have a look around and stuff, like if they saw there's no bed in my room, they think, look, what's this weirdo doing? So the bed's just I don't know, like an ornament just for display.
Yeah.
It's just for show.
So what happens if you've got a friend over? Is it floor policy
No,
for
I'm
everyone?
on my floor no matter what, mate. Everywhere. But yeah, it's a weird one. Like even at hotels and stuff, like it's. I've had times where the cleaners that will walk in and I'm on the ground sleeping, like in the morning, and I'm just like, oh shit. So they're just looking at me like, what's this guy doing?
Sweeping
like,
around you.
Yeah, they're thinking, this guy spent all this money on this hotel room and he's laying on the ground. Like, what's wrong with
How
you?
do you find, that must be good for your. Would that be good for your posture?
It can't be good for your back, I reckon.
Oh,
but I don't know. I've done it forever, so like.
Yeah, you're just used to it.
I
back's
complain
cooking,
if I
yeah.
sleep on a hard mattress and that's a bed, and I
Yeah.
still get sore. I could never do it. But
That's why you're so chiseled, eh?
that's not what you said on the last podcast.
Not you, Nick. No, you're fat, bro.
Damn, still fat.
All right. We could have done the podcast on the floor.
Yeah, I know. I'm uncomfortable sitting in these chairs.
Wow, that's cool, eh?
Yeah. While we're on the subject of hair, we've got a little thing we're starting up. It's a what would you rather.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to picture this. You've got to choose between two scenarios, all right? First scenario is you have to have your head shaved
Yeah.
by a naked Aaron Sandilands. That's one choice. So full shaven bald.
Yeah. By naked Aaron.
And the second choice is Hayden Ballantyne steals your entire shoe collection.
Ooh.
What would you rather?
Valentine, take the shoes, mate. I would just, easily.
Fine
Easily.
back.
Easily. Take it. I'll get some new ones.
Sandilands pretty tall. His peg would be.
Man, that's what I was thinking. Like,
His trouser snake would just be dangling.
Oh, yeah, I don't need that. No, I'm picturing it now, yeah.
Yeah, that would stay with you for a while.
It'll scar me. Shoes you can replace with like your mental scarring. Yeah. There's no wiping that stuff.
How many shoes have you got?
Too many. I got a room, so I've got a shoe room, so if that puts it into perspective.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of it. It looks impressive.
Yeah, I kind of get worried about putting photos and videos out because I think someone's going to rob me one day.
Can you insure them?
Yeah, maybe you can. I don't know. Yeah, but some of those things, like
Yeah.
it's kind of sentimental. Like if I got stolen, there's no price I could put in them.
Yeah. Do you hold
There
them?
is a price.
What's
Sandilands
that? Yeah, there is a
snake.
price. Yeah,
yeah.
Shave my head. And Aaron doesn't
It's
know
8
me.
inches. The pale python.
Imagine you caught him in the mirror, and because you know how big he is, and I picture his ass to be a bit like white and not flabby, but it would be. I don't know.
I don't want to picture it. Yeah, I don't know.
I reckon
You gotta
he's
think of it
just all
yourself,
back. He just goes
kind of
neck.
like you when
Yeah.
when you were fat and you had no chin,
Yeah.
straight down, but his is down the back.
Neck to calves.
Well, your back just meets your hammies, yeah.
You can tuck your cheeks into your socks.
We got a young guy, Jake Waterman. We call him Noel because he's got no hole. So the guy to say his back just connects to his hammy. So big Noel Waterman.
Oh, that's so
Well, how is it coming up against someone like a clothed Aaron Sandilands?
Yeah, a lot easier than naked. Yeah, it's tough. Like it's always a big challenge. We always set ourselves for something like that. Obviously, early days when you're a young kid and you only weigh about 80 kilos, it's impossible task. Like you just get thrown around and get bullied. But then you grow and it makes you work hard in the gym to try and get bigger. And now I don't really mind playing against him. It's always a good challenge. It's like any midfielder versus the best midfielder. So it's always something I
Who
enjoy
do
doing.
you consider your biggest rival in the ruck out of all the teams?
Yeah, I'd probably say Sandilands is still pretty good. Like, they've got some good ones in Brodie Grundy and Max Gorn and Goldstein when he's up and going as well. But yeah, I still think Aaron Sandilands is the toughest opponent.
Just because he's so physically big.
Yeah, his size. Like if you get it wrong against most ruckmen, you can always get your way back into it and still trying to win a hit out. But with Sandilands, you get it wrong, there's no getting back because he doesn't really need to jump. He can stand and put his hands straight up.
He's a shack
He can just stand on the ground without jumping, put his hands straight up, and still be taller than you jumping. So, especially with the third man rule going, like it's man on man, like it's 1v1. So there's no hiding, there's no protection from someone else.
Do you prefer that rule?
I do, in particular, because teams in the past have come through and just sent a guy up to try and jump into me and hit the ball away. But now it's just it's 1v1 and you just got to get the job done.
Yeah.
So he stands out.
How you finding these new guys like Rioli and the likes? He seems like an absolute legend.
Yeah, they're good. Especially some of the new guys like Liam Ryan as well.
Yeah.
Some of the Indigenous boys are just funny little blokes. Like they're just
Good banter.
constantly joking around. Sometimes you got to pull them in the line and tell them to be serious. But that's just their nature. They bring fun to the club. So we had a swimming race today at the club after training with. So Liam Ryan was one of them. He can't swim, and then it's mainly all the black guys like Tarir Bayok and another guy Tony Alanga as well. The two African boys. So they're like Eric the Eel in the pool. So it was funny.
Get him on track and field.
Man, that's it. Get him out in the field, they'll smash anyone. But get him in the water, they're just bricks. They're just rocks that sink. So it's
so
always good
funny.
fun having those guys around. They bring a lot of energy to the club.
It looks like, and you get on well. Obviously, you like your rap and different stuff, and I see you guys bouncing off each other.
Yeah, there's a music playlist at the club. Like Shuey normally runs it all, and it's just hip hop. Like the coaches don't like it because they're into the old school kind of Cold Chisel and Johnny Farnham and whatnot. And then they just come through the change room and it's just gangster rap. And like,
2 Chainz and Tupac.
Yeah, it's like some of these young guys, like I wouldn't even think they'd listen to it. Like little private school boys and whatnot, and they pull out some they're just freestyling this stuff, and I'm thinking, wow, like but it's good fun, brings good energy to the footy club. I love it.
You're from Midland, so that was like you learned to walk on that music.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was it. My heart beats with that kind of stuff. So that's just the rhythm that's there.
So good.
I put a question out on Instagram in my story. I asked anyone if they had any sort of questions they wanted me to ask.
Yeah.
And I got one from Simon at Simon Tunbridge 32.
No, I never heard of that idiot.
You know what's going.
He's an idiot. That bloke. Don't even read his question.
This interview's over.
He said, ask him what fuel does he put in his boat.
Oh, have you heard that story?
No.
So Simon Tunbridge, idiot. There was three stooges. So Simon Tunbridge, who used to play at West Coast, Mark Lacroix and Jamie Cripps. One of those blokes is Savannis, who's Lecco, and the other two boys are from Northampton, Dongra way, so not much sense in between them. You'd think they'd know how to operate a boat and stuff. So I had a footy clinic, so we normally put our pots out every year and get crayfish and stuff. And I couldn't make it one day, and I gave my keys to Tunners. I said, man, I got to do this footy clinic. It's very important in Freo, so you guys take my boat. My boat's at Hillary's. Take it out, go pull the pots and come back in. It's low on fuel, go fill it up. It takes just petrol, just unleaded. Like whatever you do, do not put diesel in it. And it's the cap even says no diesel. Like idiots put diesel in it and went out and stuff like broke my boat. So I had to get it all pumped. It cost me $4 or $5 grand to get it all fixed and whatnot. They kept the crays, didn't bring it in. Like they got the crays, didn't even give me any, and then like didn't even help me foot the bill or get rid of all the petrol, because in the marina you can't just dump the fuel. You got to get it into barrels and suck it out and then take it out of the bush and dump the stuff. I don't know if I'm going to say that, but yeah, dump it somewhere. So they didn't help out with that. So now that their little running joke, we've got a WhatsApp group and it's called Deasliest Catch. Idiots.
We've had actually a very similar story. We were down Esperance one time. We went out looking for waves and we've gone way past where we should have. We're talking like 30 kilometres out to sea, and then on the way back in, we had 3 skis, and one of the skis was beeping, which was ours, and the other 2 skis were kind of driving back pretty quick. There was like dolphins. Everyone was sort of following dolphins doing their own thing. And then we saw this little bommy and we thought, we'll stop for a surf. So we quickly stopped, started having a little surf, and the other 2 skis kept going and didn't realise we stopped. And then it turns out the waves we were towing into were fun. We were getting some like good little barrels and that. So we were just having a good time. And then we thought, we'll head back. And as we were heading back in, we seen the other ski broken down. And we're like, what happened? And they're like, we thought you broke down. So we went and grabbed the jerry can from the car, filled up our ski, and they had the jerry can with them. and the jerry can was diesel.
Oh,
So they'd put diesel in their ski,
their home run.
trying to come and help us. And we were all just like smiling from ear to ear because we'd just been getting pits for like 45 minutes by ourselves.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh no. But you're right, it does screw the motor. Look,
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long you got before it absolutely starts churning out? Like, can you make it back, or does it just start gurgling straight away?
When
Like,
it on a
the
ski,
engine?
when it starts beeping, you can still get about 20 kilometers,
Yeah.
give or take, depending on the conditions. Because I know someone that's started beeping at Rottnest with their ski, and they still made it back to Fremantle
Yeah.
with it beeping. But yeah, it's not something you want to push.
Because I won on Wayne jet ski. He cooked it. Every time he beeped, he would just be no more. We had
Yeah.
to push it in a few times at the back of Trig. Back, R.I.P. He wasn't in the best health. That's crazy. That was that Jerry Cans wave you named.
Yeah,
didn't
we
you?
end up nicknaming it
Jerry
Jerry Cans.
cans.
in the middle of nowhere.
Those poor guys.
Yeah. Trying to do a good deed.
Yeah, it was Husey.
Oh, was
Oh,
it?
yeah. Is there another story? I won't name a name. I don't know if it's folklore, but I remember one of the boys telling us that a certain someone wanted to get rid of their ski and do the old insurance claim and sink it, and they sunk it. But then the Surf Sea and Rescue ended up helping them retrieve it. or
Yeah.
something. And it backfired. They had
Name
to
and shame.
Didn't
Name
they
and
dive
shame.
for it? They had to go diving with the surf.
What
Name and
happened
shame.
was they had a ski and it was a dodgy ski.
Yeah.
And it actually died, which turned out to be a bonus for them. But it died and it sunk to the bottom of the ocean. And they were like, oh, that's sunk. We don't want it back anyway. So then they've gone and reported it. And then it turns out, they're like, we have to retrieve it. So they've gone back, retrieved the ski. And then even though, they couldn't fix it anyway. So they ended up getting a brand new ski. So it worked out for them. It's a funny story. Like when they went back, they were like, they had apparently like the world's biggest diving flippers, mask and snorkel, and they're just trying to search the bottom for this ski.
Warpole. Shark territory.
Not
Good luck,
worth
boys.
It. Not worth it.
Oh, that's so funny. You're big into your fishing, eh?
Yeah, love it. Love being out in the water.
You seen that fat photo of Whitey with the
Not
fish?
this again.
It actually looks like a rounded.
That's
version of Vin
Photoshop,
Diesel.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's not. Is that you?
Yeah.
What did you get stung by a bee or?
Good paddock, eh?
Oh,
He just ate it. Didn't even catch and release. He just literally ate it there and then.
Look at it. Oh,
You boys
that's
got a
pretty
fishing
funny.
show or a radio show? I always see these segments of you boys fishing like here and there.
Oh, I think some of the boys do. I don't do it.
You
I
don't
just
do it?
muck around with it. Mark Lecrae has his little fish watch thing he does for the news every couple of nights, which is a joke.
Have you stitched him up on there about the diesel?
Nah, but he doesn't let us go on there, so he just does it
Oh.
himself. Does a little fish report, but he gives away a lot of good spots too on that thing. So hopefully he cuts that soon.
What about you obviously love the ocean. We actually had a few questions about some bodyboarding related stuff. You were Ben Jasinski said he remembers many memories have gone down to Scarborough and bodyboarding with you. You're pretty big into your surfing.
Yeah, I
and
used to
bodyboarding?
love the ocean, so I used to go down. I guess the boys from Midland, like it was a long way to get. You know, the first train was about 5 o'clock in the morning. We'd have to get on to get to 6 o'clock train to Glendalough and
The old Bassendean train?
Yeah, and the old 400 bus to Scarborough. So we'd be down there every weekend, just hanging around, causing trouble.
Nothing's changed, with that crew.
Guys would ride their bikes the whole way. You know, a few times I slept in those sand dunes. Like I slept there probably a dozen times just to get up early. Never again. Look back now, thinking us idiots, but no, it was good times.
And they were the days where the lookout, in two
the
parallel
nightclub-
worlds,
Yeah, yep.
innocent Nic Naitanui being 14, sleeping
Yeah.
in the dunes.
Yeah.
Naughty Chris White in his prime at the lookout. I'm
Partying.
sure you crossed past in the dunes, but not knowing that you were near each
Yeah,
other.
they
at
were,
night time.
they were the guys giving us beers.
Yeah, see
What
that?
are you doing down here?
Is that a balloon? Oh, no. Is there sun cream in that balloon?
That's just our goon bag. Oh yeah, it was good times. And then, like I said, I used to love the surfing and bodyboarding and whatnot. And used to watch these guys, I guess, growing up, all the tension stuff. So, like I was saying before, I used to line up at the Regal Theatre down in Subi and stuff like that to get autographs. It'd be packed, like on the road, stopping cars, and a couple hundred people. I'm actually in. My mates are all in one of the DVDs, like lining up. So I have to go through and see if you can spot my head in there.
The premiere.
At the premieres and stuff.
Yeah.
So we used to line up and get autographs. I've still got signed DVDs at home. So it's weird because then the full circle comes around and now I'm doing this stuff. And I got to meet, obviously Ryan Hardy and Husey. And I think I've signed a jumper for Chad Jackson as well. So
Goes
it's
full
kind of
circle.
weird. I was like, he's getting my signature now. And I used to get theirs. I used to line up for ages too. I used to fight the crowds and pay my little, whatever it was, $25 for the DVD and watch it as well.
Get the boys to throw the DVDs out and just tap them to your
Yeah,
mates.
tap him down. Who's this kid?
Bill Wagner on the run.
Yeah, I know, yeah. All those boys at Wilson, like it's
I
funny.
think I know the DVD because I remember seeing Wagland and Wilson and that on
Yeah.
it, and you probably were the same one.
Yeah,
I
with
imagine
all
you
those
were
guys.
boys.
Yeah, so there was a fair crew of us.
I'll
It was
have to
about
go back through the footage.
20 or 30 of us, but yeah, I think it's time to bring another one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was awesome fun back then. I remember the Regal Theatre days. Like, used to have the double level. We used to pack it out. It was awesome.
The worst, you got us in a lot of trouble. Like a lot of our boys got in trouble with the police trying to copy some of your stuff. I guess it was before Jackass and all that came out. So like, like the Coles in Scarborough, even the Coles out in Midland, like boys are jumping into stacks and piles of cans and throwing toilet paper around. And I guess we all knew where you lived, obviously with the lettuce and stuff getting chucked off the balcony, things like that. So the boys are doing that at school off the top balcony, just pouring stuff on people. So yeah, thanks for getting half the boys suspended at school.
Corrupted
Some guys didn't graduate thanks to you guys.
Accumulated grounded weeks were 4 weeks for Nic Naitanui. Thanks.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
You turned out all right, though, didn't you?
What were those premieres like? Obviously, we were at them as kids, but you orchestrating it all and living through it. It
Yeah.
must have been wild to see the attention pouring in the doors for you.
Yeah, it was. It was stressful at the time. I remember each premiere would just get bigger and bigger. So we'd have to, like, at the start, we'd have like 2 security guards, and then next video was like, oh, that sucked last time, we'll get 3 this time. And then every time we were just behind the 8 ball. We never sort of had enough sort of control over the crowd. So
Yeah.
started getting ridiculous. Like, I think at the Regal Theatre, they sort of saw how many people were coming, and they were like doing their sums, like, well, he's getting this many people here. So then they start saying we had this many chairs broken, and then the next premiere, it's like, oh, we had this many chairs broken this time, and then it just started. We kind of outgrew the place because of all the people. But
Especially when the crowd is there to be naughty.
There to be stupid.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the naughtiest crowd
I remember
ever.
lining up and seeing guys standing on cars, like parked cars getting stood on, chairs
Yeah.
getting broken. Like, it was good fun though, but you know what? It's you guys that are to blame for it because you're doing it in the video.
Yeah,
so
that's it. How
monkey
funny
see,
was-
monkey do.
How funny is it how like you'd had the sections of like the boys from Midland and all that would surf, and you'd had like Mullaloo, Scarborough Trick, and I always remember it was kind of like rivalry between all the sort of people that had their surf clicks. And
Oh,
you'd
yeah,
be sitting
yeah.
there waiting for it to start and be like, Buddha's a fuckhead. Or something like that. Like,
There's always
there was
someone
always,
fighting.
like,
There's
yeah,
always,
it's just like,
always.
what are you arguing about?
Yeah, some guys weren't there to watch the premiere. Some guys were just there to fight as well. So it was a mixed breed, but
It was fun. And you just pour out of the street.
that's the thing. It gave kids something to do back in the day. So, cheers for that.
It's kind of sad how the technology is taken away from those sort of events. Hey, like everyone can rip it off now.
Yeah,
Rip
everyone can just-
DVDs
yeah.
and rip whatever they want on computers.
Those are good events where you could just, get the DVDs. Like we'd go at someone's house. Like, to be honest, like as much as I say we all went down to buy DVDs, there'd only be one guy buying the DVD, and we'd all go to his house and watch it. So if you wanted to watch it, you had to go. But it was good because the boys could all hang out. You know, you'd have 10 or 15 blokes in the one house watching it together.
Yeah.
Because not everyone's going to afford a DVD back then. So we weren't burning them, just so you know.
Dude, get
We loved it. Like seeing what are these guys doing now? Like what countries are they going to? Like.
Get the train from Bassendean to Glenlow, get a chicken roll and a Coke.
Yeah,
from
that's the way I do
Coles,
it.
and then,
Yeah.
Murray Smith by the DVD.
That's exactly
someone would
right.
steal it.
Someone was stealing, yeah. We went by, we're stealing.
Yeah, sorry, why do you lost that $20?
We were stealing, yeah. So.
Run chatty.
100%, yeah, 100%. But those are the days, like, that was our geography. We learnt where countries were just through those DVDs as well. So
Yeah.
France, like every Hawaii, like, and seeing some of the stuff. Yeah, it seems like years ago now, but that'd be nearly 20 years.
was, yeah, pretty
It
much.
should have been just before you got drafted, hey?
Oh, even earlier. So
Well,
Nah,
when it
yeah,
first
it'd
started,
be
yeah.
15, 20 years almost. So
You finished up before 2008 when he got drafted?
Yeah.
Kind of? Your
Yeah.
attention?
Yeah.
yeah, so it's ages ago, but it doesn't seem so long
Nah,
ago. Like
time
we still
flies,
remember
man.
it. Like,
Yeah. And you always see, but that's like the same with when you hang out with all you hang out with all your same crew,
yeah,
which is cool
Yeah.
to see. Again, you didn't get detached and start
Nah.
sipping on piccolo, like Buddy Franklin and stuff in Melbourne. You've
Yeah.
always stuck with the same boys.
Yeah, my mates are still my close mates. I've got a twin brother, which makes it easy as well because if I'm not hanging out with him, he's always with him.
Did he surf as well? We met him back in the day.
Nah, he come to the beach every now and then, but he was into his basketball, so he was doing that a fair bit. But yeah, my brother's a plumber now, and he works with. There's about 6 of them who all plumb together, so
Yeah.
little plum dog millionaires. They just charge so much money. Those guys like call out fees $110. They earn more than footballers.
Plum DMC.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I'll just give him a little plug there.
yeah, is that what they call Plum Dog Millionaire?
That's what they call themselves.
That's a hell no.
They work
mate.
3 or 4 days a week, and the rest of the time they're just drinking piss. So my whole teenage years and then growing up was, me drinking Gatorades and whatnot and water on a Friday night or a Wednesday night, and those guys just drinking piss. So there was 2 different I guess, lifestyles into one house. So,
Yeah.
but it's good because the boys are still hanging around. They're still there.
They hang at your house, don't they? Don't
They're
just
hanging there a
crash
lot.
there?
Yeah, they don't come to my games though. They don't come and watch me and support me at footy, but they'll help me support me drink my piss at home. So I eat all my food. So, but no, it's fun to have those boys around. Like obviously you got your footy mates and your teammates, but having some guys that have been there from day one is always pretty good as well.
Just to sum up one of Nick's mates, Nick was saying he never goes to his footy. Last Sunday, we were at a pub and El Grotto, and after the derby, and I said to the boys, "Oh, did you go watch Nick?" And he goes, "Nah."
Yeah.
And then I had a drink, and he goes, "I think he's coming down soon." And then I spoke with Nick on the Monday. I was like, "Yeah, I saw Jared and the boys at El Grotto. Did you end up going down?" He's like, "Nah, they don't even come to my games, the dogs." But then they rang me up and asked me to get free drinks from her at the pub.
Yeah, that's what they do.
'Cause I know the owner.
Yeah, they know I can get him into places and get him drink cards and things like that. So they'll happily take all that stuff, but get them down to a game. Unless the tickets are free and there's like, they've gone from the lifestyle of taking some of my mates, not all of them, I shouldn't throw them all under the bus, but getting tickets to a game now, like if it's not in a box with free piss, like they don't want to come. Like I'm like, come on guys, remember back in the day when we couldn't get tickets, like
Used to jump the
now
fence.
you want to do, yeah. Now they want everything. So it's good having those boys, but some of them are Freo supporters as well. So which is always pretty funny because they're going for the Dockers when, especially last weekend.
Yeah.
I get a text message before the game, go Freo, like things like that. Cheers, boys, just don't come around for the next 2 weeks. But yeah, it's good having boys from home still hanging around.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you've got a few toys. You mentioned you got a boat. You've got a couple of jet skis. Every time I look at your Instagram, it looks like a flow rider clip.
Yeah,
Burning on the jet ski.
Yeah, so the guys at Cedar and that look after me with those and the Can-Am and stuff to go shooting. So yeah, all the little toys. It's always good fun to use when we're not playing footy.
Got to take him on a surf trip.
What's that?
Down
Yeah.
to the right or jerry cans.
Jerry cans, I know. I'll be going back doing trips for you guys while you guys surf.
Have you got anything planned for this off season?
No, I'll go home at some stage back to Fiji and hang out with the family for a couple of weeks. But besides that, I haven't got anything planned. Like I try to get out of Perth every off season. Most of the guys do. Just I guess get out of the footy bubble of WA.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't go away last year because I did the America training trip, and I was injured. So yeah, any ideas, throw them my way.
Yeah. Well, if you want Tension 11, we'll
There
do
we
a
go.
trip together.
Mentalities.
And that can be the start of
Done.
it.
Dude, you should come to, we should
Done.
do a mentality.
Cloud break it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been.
I've never been. Yeah, we need to go see you at home, mate.
Yeah, come across.
Have you done mentalities before?
Nah, I haven't. I've seen so much stuff on it, but it'd be awesome
That'd
to
be
get
the
across there.
all-time trip for Nick.
Yeah.
Fishing,
Yeah.
surfing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh.
It's got the whole island lifestyle.
Oh.
Looks like we're locking it in.
See, yeah, no, there you go. Don't promise me it, then don't do it. I'll be hitting you up every day
man,
now.
if you can, we can do that easily.
Hell yeah.
What how do you reckon the boys are going? Like, how's like the energy around the group?
Yeah, pretty good.
Eagles?
Obviously, we've won our last 4 or 5 games, so obviously lost the first game. But yeah, the energy's been pretty good. Obviously, playing at home 2 weeks in a row this week's been pretty good. But to be able to win away and you know, play some good footy interstate as well has been pretty good, which we struggled with in the past. So a lot of young guys, like, you know, my first few years where I'm sounding old now, but we'd have a lot of veterans and superstars who played in the 06 Premiership, whereas now we don't really have any real big names. Like, everyone just gets the job done. So obviously you got guys like Josh Kennedy and Jeremy McGovern and whatnot, Luke Shuey, but the rest of the guys are all young, mainly young kids who've only played less than 50 games. So it's good seeing the excitement because those guys bring a lot more energy. I guess you can get pretty stale and just go through the motions at times if you're doing it every week. Yeah. But these guys are just excited. They get up for it. They get this buzz every time they go to play. So it brings so much energy. They're a lot quicker than us as well. So I love seeing them play.
That's good. It gets everyone frothing.
Yeah.
Makes you probably brings the hunger back a bit. Or not that you're not ever hungry for it, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so like
Fresh look.
Yeah, it's
fresh
just
feel.
so there's always that excitement and it's always a new challenge. Like some of these guys had never played at the MCG before, so that was new for them. They were excited to play there. Some guys never played in front of more than 5,000-10,000 people, so to play in front of 50, 60, they're just in awe. So it was, it's every week, you know, there's always a guy debuting or something as well, so it's that as well. It's been good so far.
Has a new stadium as well. Enjoying it?
Yeah, it's really good. I guess it's, you know, it has about 15,000-20,000 more people than the old stadium did. So all these flashlights and whatnot, it's pretty cool. They've had a few problems with the deck and how hard it is, but I think everyone looks past it. Once you're playing footy, you just go and play. You don't really care about all that stuff. But it's
media's on it a bit, aren't they, at the moment?
They are. We had a few injuries because of it. Partly due to the fact that it is pretty hard. But I don't know.
Yeah.
If you get
What
injured,
about
you're unlucky.
where people putting their hands into the sidelines and getting cut. What
Yeah,
was
the
that?
Geelong boys, I guess the new LED screens that run along the boundary, they were all brand new, so they were all still pretty sharp.
It looks flat though. How?
It's flat, but they're the little lights that stick out. It's almost like the little Christmas lights that you have on your Christmas tree. So if you run your hands across that, you cut yourself at some stage, and they were fresh and brand new. So they've just put a clear sheet on it now to make it softer. So hopefully there's no more cuts. But yeah, I think one of the Geelong boys ended up getting 14 stitches in his hand. Another guy did as well. So
do they try and sue for that, or do they just take that on the chin?
Yeah,
or?
I'm not sure what they did, but I'd be trying to sue.
AFL would
Yeah,
cover that,
AFL,
surely.
yeah.
AFL would handle that, I reckon.
Yeah, but they should be.
14 stitches. That's
That's
That's a big gash, yeah. I know. Yeah, so he had to wear a glove and whatnot, and for the next few
Lynch.
weeks. So I think it was Blitz. Yeah, Blitzer was looking like Lynch. So yeah, it's no good, but it's always the case with new stadiums and whatnot. I guess
just teething problems.
just things, which is going to happen early days. The ground's too hard, but yeah, I think past this year they'll learn from all that stuff, and it'll be everyone.
It's just
will
good that
pass
you
it.
got the people getting in the gate now and you're playing there.
That's it. Like in the past, you've never been able to just rock up to a game, Subi, and just come and buy a ticket at the gate. Whereas now there's still a few tickets you can come and buy because it's such a bigger stadium. But
What are the change rooms
Yeah.
like and all that stuff? Pretty cool.
oh, they're awesome. Like their ice bars and the warm up room, everything's just state of the art. It's all brand new. At Subi, it was all kind of squashed in. We're still
Yeah.
training there at the moment, and it's all pretty enclosed, and it's just
You're
everything's.
still a Subi.
We're still at Subi. We train at Lathlane, in Vic Park kind of area.
Yeah.
Our ovals there, but everything else is at Subi. All our meetings, our lockers, everything.
really?
So, we're a bit everywhere at the moment. Like
Yeah.
they've knocked down half of our facility to start building a school in Subi as well. So we're doing weights out of a little a function room. So it's all weird. Like it's a bit of stuffing around this year, but in the long run, end of this year, our new facility will be done. So
Back into it.
it will be fine.
I like how I was saying to Whitey earlier off air, Rioli got interviewed about the ground and he was like, mate, I grew up playing with no shoes on.
Yeah, did he?
On the worst
Yeah,
tracks.
that's the best.
I'm not going to say anything about this.
Yeah, at least he's honest.
That's so
like,
true,
Yeah,
though,
it's
yeah.
true. Like, I don't know. Like, you can complain as much as you want, but nothing's going to change. You just got to learn to deal with it. And,
Yeah, exactly.
But that is true. Yeah, he was up in the Tiwi Islands. He's only got a couple hundred people where he's from.
Yeah.
The coaches went there during the off season last year, and I reckon it's awesome. Some of the best fishing and just some of the culture. Like, just every kid's like a serial Rioli out there. They reckon.
Yeah.
So I said, just keep them quiet, just hide them and bring them over
Bring 'em
west.
down,
Yeah.
We need to get him on the podcast. He seems like a cool cat.
He's a good, funny guy.
Bit of
He's
Kendrick
so laid
Lamar
back.
about him, I reckon.
He's laid back, that bloke.
Has he lost a bit of weight?
He has, yeah. He's a big boy when he came across. He,
he
Willie is.
Chicken
He was a big boy, Wiz. But yeah, he worked hard. They kind of put it on him and said, mate, you need to get your diet right, train right, and yeah, he had a good little break. He actually spent a lot of time with Jamie Graham, one of our assistant coaches, and he kind of pushed him along, and he dropped a ton of weight. So
Yeah.
he's still got a little bit to go. Like he's still finding his feet and with what he wants to weigh and his strength and whatnot. But even though he was big when he first got here, he still moved like a
he's
Rioli,
agile, isn't he?
like a
Yeah.
Rioli. So it's funny because you look at him and think, I could take this guy on, but he's super quick as well. Can tackle. He likes being physical as well, which I love as well. But he's going to be exciting in the years to come.
Yeah.
Gee, you done some good tackles. What that other one the other week looked like? Seen from Waterboy.
5 tackles in like 20 seconds. That one?
He ate the guy's head.
Yeah, I know. I've got to be careful. Like someone's going to get hurt one day, but it's contact sport, mate.
Yeah, he's back.
What about at training when you do sort of your long distance runs and that? Who's
Yeah.
the guy in the club that's sort of pushing and
The
Biggest
main two
tank,
guys are probably Andrew Gaff and Chris Maston. So those two are the gun
good
runners.
cardio?
Yeah, so at 2K time trial, they'll do sub 6 minutes. They'll do 550s or whatnot. Like
It's insane.
they can run. Yeah, they can run. Like especially in the last lap when you see these guys sprinting quicker than I can sprint on my first lap, like on a 400. Like you're thinking, where they find this energy from? But some of them are just built to run. Like
Yeah.
Masto was a
built-
state runner, wasn't he?
He was a state 400 meter champ as a kid. Yeah, so
Serious engine on him.
yeah, it's like some of the boys can run. Some of the bigger guys, some of our young guys as well, who are 196 centimeters can run too. So
Yeah.
it's always
What about,
it's always disheartening seeing those guys run past you.
What about kicking, like as far as distance goes?
Our best two kicks probably be Shannon Hearn, he's a long, and Lewis Jetta. So those guys.
Did Shanahan used to kick it further, or is
Yeah, but I guess with the style of footy now, like he doesn't need to kick it as long as he's going inside 50.
I
So
always used to remember just seeing him bomb it from
do
60
it.
out, but
Yeah.
you rarely see him
He
go
won't
for
do it as much
yeah.
anymore unless you've got to kick it long down the middle, like to win a game or something from full back. But he can hit the goal square from the middle of the ground, like any oval. Like,
He's a freak, bro. Have you seen him play cricket before?
he's a gun.
Unbelievable.
He's
He's
a gun.
played state juniors against him in South Australia. I've told Whitey this before. He's literally the best cricketer I've played against. Like better than Warner and Quash. If he kept at it,
We'll keep that one quiet. I want to give him a big head.
yeah.
He is. He's a man child.
But he
Like,
looks the exact same now. He
he's-
looks actually younger now than he did when he was 15.
Oh, like, it was funny. Like some of the boys come to the club and think that he's like 40 years old. Like
yeah, he's
he
Quadzilla.
looks old, man. Like
full Quadzilla.
yeah, but he's a legend. Like he loves his fishing and hunting too. So he
It's good to see him playing still well into his 80s.
I'm gonna give it to him tomorrow. I'm gonna say it to him. Like,
Is he one
not
of the alphas at the club kind of thing?
yeah, like he's a captain, so he does run the show, but he's quiet. Like he sticks to himself, just does what he wants. Like the main guys, there's guys who think they run the club. There's guys who sort of are the bigger names, and then there's Bunga who just goes about his business, like no fuss. Like he's like an old man. Like he'll have his cup of tea in the morning, like he'll wear his slippers in, like. And just go get his job done and just like, yep, righto, blokes. He's real country. Like he's from the Barossa, but he's real country. Just
What about McGovern?
no fuss. He's a good Albany boy. Like he's the same. Like he's laid back too. He used to be a bit like Willie back when he was younger. He used to love eating all his pies and cakes and all those big boys. So he got it put on him. He got sent back to Claremont for a little bit, but now he's arguably one of the best defenders in the comp. Like
Yeah.
he's
he just
awesome.
goes about his business,
Just
doesn't he?
doesn't drop a mark. Like he's a gun. So he just goes about it. No fuss. Hopefully he's got to sign on. Like I think he's out of contract this year, so we're putting it on him. He's got to sign in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, he's got it.
Who
But
are
he's
the
good.
alpha chiefs? You'd be up there, but I reckon you'd be one of the ones that strut around, eh?
Nah, man. Some of these blokes, like we got all the guys in the low numbers. I take myself out of it.
Brad Shepherd.
They got all they all like their lockers like on this one side. They think they're on Hollywood Boulevard the way they carry on. Like Elliot Yo's one. Elliot Yo's probably one that thinks he runs the show. Shep. There's guys like Mark Hutchings and Reddo and that Jack Redden who just do what they do. Like they're no fuss.
What about young Josh Rotham?
Joshy Rotham? Yeah, he's my cousin's maxed it. Like he loves it.
Yeah,
he loves it. He gets
Maxted's
around.
a good friend of mine.
I
and
always
I follow Jake and Josh. It's
Yeah.
good to see him. I was
They
stoked.
hook us up. They're good. But yeah, those guys are the guys you see at Yellow, just sitting there. Just they're there for the photos. They're there in their West Coast gear as well.
Well, he used to work there.
Yeah, he used to do the
Did he?
best of
Yeah,
that.
oh, there you go.
Josh,
That's probably why. So they used to. They're always out. They just suddenly hint at their West Coast players. Like they have the Eagle shorts on.
Yeah, he's rolled down to Milk Bar a few times and got the Eagles kit on.
Has he? Yeah. See those blokes. That's dropping bombs.
Does the
E-bombs.
lap. I'm like, you don't even booked him for a haircut, mate. Just walks around.
Yeah, if you ever see that, take a photo and send it through to us because that'll be good for our fine session. So some of those boys are renowned for doing that kind of stuff.
He's. I've never seen Josh play, but I heard he's pretty athletic. He's decent off halfback. Is he a halfback?
Yeah, he's good. Like he's tall, but can play on smalls as well. So he's been playing some pretty good footy at East Perth recently. So yeah, fingers crossed he can try and work his way into the team at some stage. It's pretty hard with our backline at the moment because you've got guys like Shepherd and Barras and McGovern, Hearn. So
And
Lewis
you've
Jetta.
got such a good mix going. You don't want to sort of tamper
Yeah,
with it too much at the
so
moment, do you?
that's one of the hardest places to kind of break into on our side at the
Yeah.
moment. Like
He's a young kid, so he's got
he's young, got years
he's got
ahead of him.
years, yeah, exactly.
So as long as he puts his head down, just works hard, stays away from Yellow and Milk Barber, he'll be fine. But like I said, a lot of those guys are good kids too. So they're not just good footballers, but they're good kids, good to have around. They're funny, but they know when it's time to work hard as well.
Yeah, that's good. What bodyboard did you used to ride? I just thought of this then, looking at all these bodyboards in the
I was
room.
looking at them. Yeah, I had a function for a bit, but I used to have a little.
48 inch.
I had a Manta, I reckon, my first one, like early days. I think it was an Epo or something. I reckon it was. And
How many inches were you on?
what are we talking
Dinner
about?
table.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Sandwich trouser snake here.
I reckon it was 40. Yeah, I don't know. It was big.
Yeah,
it was
40,
big.
you would have to have 44.
Yeah. I reckon it was. And then
First bodyboarder to have Jordans instead of Mac.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. My churches didn't fit me, so I didn't need them. I just had my feet.
Gucci slides.
Yeah, Gucci's. Yeah.
How do you go swimming? How'd you go in the swimming trial?
No, I didn't do it today.
Oh,
I stay away from the water. I know my limitations. I swim between the flags. But yeah, boards and wetsuits, like they were expensive back in the day. Like, but sometimes they were free. Unless you knew some of the boys, then you buy them lunch for a week, then you get yourself a free wetsuit. It just falls off the back of the truck.
Yeah, that's it. With a PlayStation.
Yeah, so I drive past some of these places now, and I think these poor businesses lost money because of some of the boys, the boardroom. I gotta stop naming. I gotta start going back through their things and seeing us.
Nic Naitanui got 5 lawsuits against him.
Yeah, EBB. Start naming all of them.
Right.
No one was safe in Perth. No shops. Even Star Surf and Skate, all of them. No one was safe.
Right. weren't
They
they?
weren't safe. Boys are getting wetsuits. Like it's always funny. You'd know when guys have got these brand new like Billabong wetsuits and like just thick too. Like they'd have springers. They'd have full like steamers. Everything. I'm like, there's no way your parents like only one of your parents are working.
And you work
like,
at Chicken Treat.
Yeah, you work at that. No, you're getting. I know you're getting Centrelink money. There's no way you're affording a $600 wetsuit. So the boys just got it done. You know, they got it done. But well, we had fun.
Yeah, good times.
What's the plan for your birthday then? What, you're hanging out with us, which we appreciate.
Yeah, I didn't like I said, I forgot. I didn't have any plans, but it's the day before a game, so I'll just carbo load. I'll get my pasta into me, get my Gatorade and water into me as well, and just prepare as normal. I might go catch a bit of the rugby. So the Fijian boys are in town versus the Western Force.
Buddha's working there tonight.
And I'll be
Buddha's
on that
MC.
bike.
Yeah, so Buddha will be there.
Breeze.
I might go down and just
Heckle?
try and put him off. Heckle. Yeah.
I won't need much.
No, that'll be good fun. So I might go and check that out for a little bit. It's just down the road from my house. So that might be on the cards tonight.
A few of those boys from your village?
Yeah, not far. There's one from about 2 villages down. But yeah, I guess the Fijian community, everyone knows everyone. Like it's. So we had dinner with them the other night, and a lot of the guys all know each other and whatnot, and we know them as well. So it'd be good to see how they go.
They're big boys, eh?
They're big boys. A lot of them are like they're professional, but a lot of them are amateur as well. So I guess a lot of the internationals are playing, in France and England and whatnot. But these guys are happy. They just talk about coming over to Perth. Like some of them hadn't been here before or been to Australia, so they're staying at the Height, I think it is, in the city. They're staying there and
Good Wi-Fi there. Good
yeah,
data.
that's it. Good data. Like Twiggy Forest has obviously covered all their costs, so these guys figured out what room service was. They're loving that stuff. So like, man, they're loving it. They love being here, and hopefully they remember to play some rugby tonight and not get too carried up with Wi-Fi.
We've had the rehearsals last 2 days, and they're definitely the whole sort of setup is very similar to like the Big Bash and the Wildcats in terms of the fan entertainment. So I reckon it's gonna be
Wolf
awesome
Mother?
for
Wolf
rugby.
Mother's playing?
Yeah, how good's that?
Yeah, I was just thinking they must have thrown some coin their way. Like,
what happened,
yeah. So good on them for making something happen in Perth. Like,
Yeah, it's good.
Hopefully it builds and grows.
What about quickly for the NBA fans? You love your ball. Who are you picking to take it out this season? And can you share us a story with when Patty Mills hooked you up in America? Share with us. That story.
Who's going to win it? I think Golden State are going to be hard to beat again. Obviously getting Curry back. Yeah, they're going to be a tough force to come past, but it's good seeing LeBron do his stuff.
They come back this series 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0. So he's a one-man kind of show at the moment, but
Seriously playing better, hey?
he's just playing. Yeah, he's just like what do you call it? A fine wine. He's just getting better with age. He's just he's doing his thing, but. Yeah, the boys, I guess the boys look after me. Like I used to do these American hype tours back in the day. So I used to go and do about 10 or so cities and watch a team in every city and got to meet the players and whatnot. I had this guy through, he was like their chaplain, like the NBA chaplain. So they do this thing where they have chapel before a game and you can come and pray and you can be from both sides. So I could be from Golden State, you could be from Cleveland, and you come into the same room, whoever wants to come. And I got to do that for a while at some of the cities. So you're sitting there like, and Dwayne Wade walks in or someone, I just got my head down. And it's funny hearing what they pray for. Like you got the big superstars of the game sitting in there. I remember being in one, and one guy was like, I think it was D Wade. He was praying. He's like, Coach, like they call Coach Mo. He's the chaplain. Coach, I just pray to have some courage, some passion. Get my shot up and do what I do. And then you got these young guys in there. He's like, Coach, and you got to be quiet because they got their eyes closed and you can't. I was told not to speak in there. And one of the young guys, I remember him saying, Coach, I just pray for some court time. I just want to play. And I just couldn't stop. I started pissing myself laughing and they all opened their eyes and were staring at me. And I'm like, shit, sorry, guys. Like, I thought he was joking, but he was actually being genuine. Like, he wanted to play. So, no, it was good to do that. Obviously, I got to hang out with Paddy in San Antonio and go to his house for a bit. And he's got a little recording studio. He plays a bit of guitar and whatnot. And we had a little freestyle battle in the car park with a few of my mates and him and his mates and his missus and whatnot. So that was good fun too. So
That's awesome, man.
all the Aussies were there. He loved it. It's
good celebrating each other's success. And
Oh,
seeing
absolutely.
Australians abroad doing their thing.
Oh, it is, but yeah, they're a whole new level of success. Like the way they party, like it kind of humbles you as a footballer. Like over here, we party well, we can do what we want, and if you're having a good night, you'd buy a little bottle of Grey Goose for everyone, which is $110. These guys have got Don and stuff. Like they just when you're spraying a $1,500 bottle of champagne or whatnot, like around the room, not even drinking it. My eyes, I was in shock. I'm thinking these guys are it's like water to them, like
balling.
Yeah, so they were balling. Like these guys are earning 100 mil, like Tony Parker, like some of the biggest names at San Antonio were in there partying in their little. They got their own nightclub, so like it's a different world. But it opened my eyes. I'm like. Yeah, my kid's playing basketball for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
I hope you prayed for that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it next time. Start doing it.
man, we appreciate you coming in today so much,
Thanks,
especially on your birthday, man. Just
Jeez.
shows your character. You just,
Absolute lord.
yeah. You've always been you've come to my book launch premiere, so I'm a huge fan and
Thanks,
can't
mate.
believe like you're a good friend also. So
Yeah.
love to have you on again sometime.
Yeah, sounds good.
We'll
Yeah.
get you on the early on. Yeah, Shep
Yeah,
would be
Shep.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Big Mickey Swart.
Get some water going. Yeah.
Fish on. And we'll get Sean. But
He's
yeah,
a man.
you're a legend, man. Like Whitey said, thank you so much for taking time out straight after training, ahead of a game, on your birthday, to hang out and talk some smack with us. Really appreciate
Easy.
it, brother.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Birthday.
Can't believe that's been over an hour. I could talk for another hour. All right.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. Cheers.
Damn